It's All Gravy with Teresa. Hey guys, this is Teresa, and we are shooting today for It's All Gravy with Teresa. And we're here at our home in Bowling Green, Kentucky on a beautiful afternoon. Still a little bit warm, but it's just beautiful today. You'll hear a little background noise. We still have some building going on here, and that's a good sign for me that the world keeps turning. And about Teresa's, we want to thank you all so much for all your likes, shares, following us, comments, your comments back to us about what you like about the recipes have been very heartwarming and give me the feel goods when I read them, which has been very special. We're trying to get some of the recipes that you guys have asked for, and I hope those are working out for you. My quest in this is to get some of the old-timey recipes that are being forgotten, and I would love for those to be passed down to the next generation. I feel like we have kind of gotten out of that, me being one of the, in my 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, just wide open and kind of forgetting about my heritage and where I came from. And now I'll be 60 soon, and that is so important to me. I want my children and grandchildren to know how to survive. I want them to learn how to live with less, that it doesn't have to come out of a pretty package to be good, and that we have some, fortunately, I came from a family that my mother was an excellent cook when she was young, and I have that foundation to fall back on. So those are the kind of recipes we're looking for, and if it's something, if it's something that, just something you want us to look up and see if we can find, I'll do that too. But I'm very committed to this, trying to slow down, trying to be satisfied where I'm at, not always looking for the next star, that I'm not going to be just a rolling stone. I want to have a little moss grow on me. It's time. And in that, I think for all of us, if we could just slow down just a little bit and realize, yes, we have to have money, but do we have to have the Lexus? Will a Suburban work? That's the kind of things that, or not even that, do you have to have a car payment? So many things that we get that we could really do without. For me, I've learned that I'll just drive them till the wheels fall off. And I have been that person that wanted the newest and the best. So I've been very blessed. God has been good to me that I've lived both sides of it. So that's what we want to do with Teresa's. And It's All Gravy with Teresa. I made a mistake the other day. I got so used to talking about Teresa's. And a cute little story about that, I found early on, I started Teresa's just from nothing. Just me, no education about it. All I knew how to do was wait tables and cook. So the business side of it I knew nothing about. But I learned quickly to promote myself. And so all you saw me in for probably 25 years was a Teresa t-shirt. With some kind of cute saying on it, most of the time Queen Bee, and Teresa's on the front with different logos of our address and phone number. I went to eat, I left a card with a tip. I always left a tip, but I always left a card with a free meal, hoping those people would come and try us out. So I self-promoted myself for the whole time I was at Teresa's, so it's kind of hard to get out of that. But I'm going to have to learn how to say, it's all gravy with Teresa. But to say, again, thank you all for all your likes, shares, comments, following us. We're on YouTube, and Clint just looked it up. We got 57 followers, and who would have even thought I'd be on YouTube? I mean, that's just crazy to me. So you all go to YouTube and get that started for us. The t-shirts, the ones who ordered t-shirts off of the site we put up, those should be coming out to you. You can also still get a t-shirt if you would like. My daughter-in-law Mandy and my granddaughter Maddie are making those themselves. If you are interested in getting one, just send us or send me a private message and I will hook you up with the details. Because we love seeing, you know, t-shirts. One of the best feelings was going to a Western ball game and seeing the kids wearing No, I'm Not Teresa t-shirt. So we like having our name out there. And thank you for helping that happen. We also still have Patreon.
Yay!
Patreon is a website that we would like for you to go to if you are willing to help us out. You know, we have some production cost and some deciding where we're going to go from here. So if you are interested in that, please look at that site. And the ones who have already looked at that, thank you so much, and thank you for your contributions. And with all that being said, I always like to add in a little bit of something of what's going on with me. In this little book, I am so blessed. I wish I had some way. At the time I got out of Teresa's, I was so sick and broken that I didn't keep a lot of things, like all the names of all the people. Can you imagine 25 years of people who had been in and out to work for us or work with us? And I wished I had kept those names, but I didn't. So I still have people come up to me sometimes, you know, I worked with you down at the old place. And usually it'll jog my memory, and I do remember. This little girl was just like my daughter. And we had two Kims working at the same time. And we named one Katie and one Kimmy. And Kimmy, you know that I'm talking to you. I love you so much. And I pray for you, and I'm excited when I see you doing good. It just makes my heart feel good. So this little book came from her years ago, and I don't know why she got it from me, probably just to give it to me because she was a sweet little girl, is a sweet little girl. And it says, to my second mother, a gift wrapped in my prayer and wishes from Love Always, Kim. So this, I go back and forth, and over the years I've read it. You can see the pages are kind of getting worn where I've been looking at it. But I turn to this, and it's about finding peace, which is so hard for a lot of us. Like I said, for me, it's been so hard for me to just be still. And it says, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you, and to be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And I had to ask Clint for sure what countenance meant. And that means his, just God's face. Your countenance is your look. So when God is looking upon you. And it will give you peace. Which is such a good feeling to know. That I can look to God. And even though it's hard when you're struggling to believe in anything, but when I do, it's better. And that comes out of Numbers in the Bible, 6:24 through 26. So, if you're having a hard time today, just hang on. Hang on. Tomorrow's a new day. And that, believe me, I've had to go from not just a whole day, I've had to go just a couple hours. You know, if I can hold on just a couple of hours, you know, it's going to be okay. And nothing is permanent. You know, an old man in the restaurant told me years ago, just calm down. Nothing is for sure except death and taxes. And, you know, they change the president every 4 years, as we know. So nothing is set in stone. So just kind of chill out a little bit today. I love you guys. I thank you so much. And we are heading to the kitchen. I didn't tell you what we're cooking. I got so out of control there. We are going to do zucchini squash. And our zucchini didn't do great this year. Our yellow squash didn't do great this year. But we do have green tomatoes, and they have started slowing down now. Our tomatoes, period, have started slowing down. But from what I read, it's about time for them to, they're going to the end of their season. This, for the fried squash, it's easy, and I'll have to say that I took it from somebody else. Usually I was taught to put them in slices. This is a new method that you cube them, and it's so much easier. You get the taste is the very same. You don't get all that burnt grease in the bottom of your skillet. So this has just worked out so much easier for me, and I wanted to share it with you all. We're doing zucchini today, but you can do yellow squash. You can do the green tomatoes the same way. So, with that being said, thank you all so much. I am loving doing this. I'm hoping you are enjoying it also. And let's get to Teresa's kitchen. Hey guys, we're in Teresa's kitchen again. We always start off by washing our hands good. We have already done our counters with a bleach solution. And we are ready today to do fried zucchini. You can use zucchini. This came out of our garden. There we go. You can use yellow squash or fried green tomatoes. All of those work on this recipe. And before we start cutting up our zucchini, I put 3 cups of oil, just vegetable oil, 3 cups into an iron skillet. And I like using an iron skillet. You may want to have, or you do need to have prepared, you need a slotted spoon of some kind. I use my cooling rack and just a cookie sheet underneath and a paper towel, and when I scoop them up, I put them over here to drain, and then I can transfer them over to a platter to serve. And so our grease is getting hot. I had it, it's on 8 right now, and you just kind of have to see if it's getting too hot, you turn it down a little bit, and we'll talk more about that in just a minute. In our mixing bowl, we have 1 cup of cornmeal. This is another one of those things where we are learning how to just use what we have. This is a cornmeal mix because I make a lot of cornbread. This is a cornmeal mix, and that's fine to use. I added to that self-rising flour is what I have on hand, and I put 1/4 cup of that. I put 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And I've got that all in here. We're just going to give that a good little mix where it's mixed up good. And, you know, the cornmeal, the flour, that's just a good little coating. You don't want it too thick. So we're not wetting this. This has been washed already. And I'm going to, this zucchini, cutting the end off. And cutting the bloom side off. And then where I was taught that you put them in slices. That's what I was taught to do. This new method that I saw on another person's show, so thank you other person, you do them like this, and we're going to make them in little cubes. Like so. Just little cubes. And this is kind of twofold. Like I was telling you earlier, these will cook quicker. And you won't, your grease won't burn so bad. You know how if you have fried squash or tomatoes before, then your grease burns before your last part gets done. So I just put those in here. Like so. See how they're all coated? I'm going to go ahead and cut this other one up. Making sure my grease, and it's warm, so I'm going to turn it down about 4. Maybe on down to 2. I may have to get it a little hot. Let's do what I got in here. I'm sorry I'm changing on you, Clint, but my grease got hotter than I thought. So again, this is one of those steps that's very important that you do. Like the dumplings, we're going to drop these one at a time. One at a time. One at a time. And you'll know when your shortening is ready because they will, you can kind of see them they start floating as soon as you put them in there. Another little trick that I do, because 3 cups of shortening is a lot, liquid shortening. So I take, as you can see over here, I have my bacon grease behind here. I always save my bacon grease. And this I save. When I get done with this and it's cooled off good, I will run it through a coffee filter. Just stick a coffee filter down in a funnel. And then I save this grease. Again, I use mine pretty quick, so it doesn't have to be refrigerated, but you can refrigerate it. And then take it out when you need it. And you're not wasting that shortening every time. So we can see. We'll get this last little bit in here and we'll adjust our temperature. But it's very important that you just do one at a time, or you get clumps and you get too much of the cornmeal and flour in your skillet, and that's what causes it to burn. And then I was so excited the first time I tried this. My husband loved it. We're going to do this a little bit here, and Clint and I will have them for lunch, and then I'll make them for supper tonight. So that's that. That's about half of a zucchini, medium-sized one. And then you're going to take your slotted spoon and just stir them around. There's some that's already getting brown. See how pretty? And then you adjust your temperature. I let it get a little warm and turned it down. So I'm going to turn it up now about 5. And see how they're floating on top? Those are about ready for me to take out. These here that are floating. You can see they're coming to the top. And these are delicious just to eat with your meal. If you want to make a little sauce to go with them, I made a little ranch and hot sauce mixed together just to dip them in, and you could use them as an appetizer. Just all kinds of ways to use the yucky squash in the garden that we don't know why our parents planted it. So this is a way that we have found out to do it. It's so much easier, like I said, not burning the grease and not having the kitchen all smoked up and smelling like burnt grease. These right here, I'll show you. And we talked about earlier the pan. Did I say that out loud? Mm-hmm. Okay. The pan, you put them on here and just let them drain. And then, like I said, you can serve them just in a bowl or on a platter with a little dip. So they're very versatile, a lot more so than, you know, I grew up thinking. So, that's it. We're going to let the texture is, with this, you will know, see right here, it cuts right in half. They're not soggy. You get a good little crisp taste, and it's done. That's how you know it's done. Sorry, Clint hadn't tell me out loud. I don't read lips very well. But I think you're going to love this. I think you're going to love the ease of it and the flexibility, saving your grease, using up the squash. And again, it works great with yellow squash, zucchini, or fried green tomatoes. Same thing, it all works so good. I hope this works out great for you. Again, let us know how you like it, if you tried it, if you saved your grease, how that worked for you, because we are part of this is we're trying to learn how to live with less. And part of that is just not throwing out everything we use, because we don't have to. A lot of times you can reuse it. And like I said, with me, I saved my bacon grease. I've also started saving this oil. I told you before, I put it coffee filter inside of a funnel. This is a little jar, any kind of fruit jar you can use. And then you'll be able to use this for 1 or 2 times. And you'll know if it's the shortening is getting old, it'll have kind of a rancid smell to it, like you don't want to use it. But again, I hope you use those tips. Look, one more shot, Clint, of those floating. I just think it's so pretty when they, you know they're done, when they float to the top and they get that golden brown color that you like. So thank you again, guys. This is Teresa. We're in Teresa's kitchen with It's All Gravy with Teresa. We're thanking you so much for all of your watching, your likes, your shares, your follows. Keep it up, guys. And we're going to talk to you real soon. Thank you.